hard laminate, Springfield Carpet One has everything you need for your next flooring project. Thomas Drugs. Since the early 1900s, Thomas Drugs has served the Robertson community for all of their prescription needs. Stop by and see their friendly staff and grab you a sundae at their ice cream parlor today. Old Hickory Credit Union. Whether you need to open a checking account or interested in taking out a loan or mortgage, Old Hickory Credit Union can help you every step of the way. Countryside Outdoor Power Equipment. Countryside Outdoor Power Equipment is your one-stop shop for all of your outdoor needs. Select Physical Therapy in Springfield. Select Physical Therapy provides inpatient and outpatient rehabilitation services in Robertson County. And the Tennessee Highway Safety Office. Remember, fans don't let fans drive drunk. Now, here are David Wilson and Brady McAtamney.
Hello again, everybody, and welcome into the Robertson County Football Show. I am David Wilson, sports reporter for the Robertson County Connection, joined as always by Main Street Clarksville sports editor Brady McAtamney. Brady, what's going on?
Hey, it's a nice week out here. We got football as the main centerpiece now, with soccer wrapped up here in Robertson and Montgomery counties. Volleyball, of course, wrapped up. Golf wrapped up. It's really the football show now here, isn't it?
It is. And before we get into the football, I want to give a major shout out to the East Robertson volleyball team and their run through the state tournament, their first ever appearance. Remarkable job of those ladies. It was such a great job by them. And it was a fun 3 days getting down to Murfreesboro at Rockville High School and covering those girls. And then a fantastic job by White House Heritage girls soccer team, making it to the sectional round of the soccer season. So congrats to those ladies as well. Mark Redfarron and Jamie Pennington do a great job for their respective programs. But after that, it's all about football these next couple of weeks before we hop into basketball season. Brady, I have a feeling I know where you want to get started.
Yep, as always, we are going to start with the Springfield Yellow Jackets. They took a loss to Gallatin 17-7. Our Springfield High School football segment is brought to you by Countryside Outdoor Power Equipment in Springfield. They are a one-stop shop for all your outdoor needs. Stop by and see their inventory or give them a call at 615-384-7660. Springfield actually led the Green Wave 7-3 at halftime. What did the Yellow Jackets do well, and then what allowed Gallatin to come back and win?
Yeah, I'm going to give all the credit on this one. Blaine Keller, former sports reporter for The Connection, returned to his alma mater on Friday night and had the coverage. A graduate of Springfield High School, does a remarkable job up in Sumner County covering those guys up there. And he was there watching this game between the Green Wave and the Yellow Jackets. And as Brady mentioned, this was a game that Springfield led early on. They got an opening touchdown. Clarence Cobbins does a phenomenal job for that team. He does it in so many different ways. He's a Swiss Army knife, and they use him in all three phases. For the opening touchdown of the game, he goes in motion, takes the pitch from quarterback Parker Betts, and then hits Betts on a 47-yard touchdown pass to give Springfield an early 7-0 lead. And then Springfield's defense, you have to give them credit throughout the first half, really making things tough for Jackson Stroop and that Gallatin offense, turning them over, making them fumble the football, only holding them to a field goal. So credit to the Springfield defense and their performance in that first half. They have consistently been getting better and better on the defensive side of the football over the last several weeks. Obviously, they did a great job against Hunters Lane in their playoff clinching win 2 weeks ago before the bye. Did a great job in the first half against Gallatin last Friday night. And then Gallatin, this game was still 7-3 heading into the fourth quarter. Gallatin's able to get 2 touchdowns from Stroop through the air in the fourth quarter that kind of put them ahead and gave them a victory on the road. Really a tough place to play. Springfield plays well all the time at home. So give credit to Gallatin sticking with it when things weren't very pretty early on for the Green Wave, finding 2 fourth quarter touchdowns to give them the lead. The problem, I guess, for Springfield is just the inconsistency that we've seen on offense just throughout the year. I mentioned in my pick'em column last week, the Yellow Jackets have been Jekyll and Hyde. There have been games where they've been able to put up points. And there's been games where they really struggled to move the football consistently up and down the field. That's due to, Parker Betts. He's a junior, but this is his first full year starting under center for the Yellow Jackets. Obviously, that Devin Crenshaw, the past few years, has been a phenomenal job. It was our offensive player of the year for Robertson County last year. So just some changes, some young guys that are still filling into their roles and their shoes for Springfield. Obviously, it was not easy when Keenan Chapman went down in the preseason with a leg injury that is going to miss him, or caused him rather, to miss the entire year. He was an all-county guy for the Yellow Jackets last year in the backfield. So Springfield, they're going to be in the playoffs. They'll finish up things this week with Beach on Thursday night. We'll get to that one in a minute. Then they'll be the 4 seed heading into the playoffs most likely next week. So things are still looking up for Springfield. Just some young guys still learning their roles for Dustin Wilson.
Moving on to John Elmore's Greenbrier Bobcats. They got a win at Creekwood, 21-10 on Friday night. Our Greenbrier High School football segment is brought to you by Old Hickory Credit Union. Whether you need to open a checking account or interested in taking out a loan or mortgage, Old Hickory Credit Union can help you every step of the way. Visit their branch in Greenbrier or give them a call at 615-847-4043. Greenbrier trailed 10-0 early in the second quarter to Creekwood. How were the Bobcats able to score 21 unanswered points against the Redhawks?
Yeah, I mentioned Blaine Keller having the coverage in Springfield last Friday night up in Charlotte, Tennessee. Casey Patrick did a great job with the coverage for this one, sending me updates and text messages over Greenbrier's comeback win over the Redhawks. And as you mentioned, they were down 10-0 early, and I was feeling nervous. I picked Greenbrier to win this game. I was really, really confident in their ability. Just the way that it played over the last few weeks, despite the loss to Procone, they gave the Firebirds one of their lowest scoring outputs since earlier in the year, held them to 35 points. And then they picked up the huge win over White House Heritage the week before, going on the road where Nolan Carson and Chafaris Flood had a field day against that Patriots defense. And it was Carson coming through for the Bobcats yet again this week. The quarterback had 2 rushing touchdowns and a 65-yard scoop and score on defense. So he accounted for all 3 Greenbrier touchdowns in the comeback win over Creekwood in that region matchup to give them their second region win of the year and their 3rd win overall. So Nolan Carson, the senior quarterback for Greenbrier, it's obviously not been the year that they've wanted. He's battled some injuries throughout the year. He had a concussion in the second half versus Station Camp. That was probably, looking back, a game they really could have won. They were leading at the half against the Bison. Not the year Greenbrier wanted, coming off of last year's playoff appearance. I mentioned this in my articles this past week, that Greenbrier really had an opportunity to finish the year strong. We'll talk about their matchup against winless Montgomery Central coming up in our preview segment. But, they have the opportunity to close the season strong, winning 3 out of the last 4 games. So credit to John Elmore's group for sticking with it, stay fighting. They got a defense who's really going to get after people. I saw them earlier in the year, first game of the year against Springfield, and that defense really impressed me with their ability to get after teams, to make tackles in the open field, to cause some little pressure on the offense. So credit to Greenbrier for sticking with it after the tough start. They battled injuries all year long, especially on the offensive line. So credit to that group for remaining, buying into the program. And, John Elmore is a veteran coach. He knows what he's doing. So credit to that group for just sticking with it.
Moving on to Scott Murray's White House Heritage Patriots. They took a loss at East Robertson, 49-21. Our White House Heritage High School football segment is brought to you by Springfield Carpet One in Springfield. Whether you are in need of new hardwood, luxury vinyl, tile, carpet, or laminate, Springfield Carpet One has everything you need for your next flooring project. Stop by their showroom or give them a call at 615-382-7190. White House Heritage actually led East Robertson 7-0 after just 3 plays. What went wrong for the Patriots after that first drive?
Yeah, White House Heritage goes on the road. Obviously, it's a great atmosphere, a great environment when these two teams get together, just 10, 15 minutes apart, right up the road from each other. And White House Heritage wins the toss on the road, or they want the football, and they take it. And 3 plays into the game, they're on the scoreboard. Adrian Bonilla with the 57-yard touchdown run into the end zone to give Heritage a 7-0 lead. And it kind of shook me a little bit just how easy Heritage was able to move the football in that East Robertson defense. Now, they were missing some pieces on that side of the ball. There was no Elijah Groves. There was no Zach Groves on the defensive line. So Chase Brooks, after the game, said there were some pieces missing on that defense, and we had to have some adjustments in people knowing their roles on that side of the ball. And, White House Heritage, I'll give them credit. They were able to move the ball consistently in the first half. The problem was on their second and third drives of the game, they're able to drive into East Robertson territory inside the red zone but they turned over the ball on downs twice. And that allowed East Robertson, as we'll get into their offense performance in the next segment, to just stay in rhythm and keep putting points on the scoreboard. So White House Heritage defensively had really a lot of trouble keeping East Robertson off the scoreboard. It was a battle of freshman quarterbacks, and give Casey Young credit for East Robertson. He was able to make the plays that he needed to give his team the win. But for White House Heritage, in their perspective, the defense gave up way too many explosive plays, too many plays where that went over 40 yards for touchdowns. So that group needs to regroup. Obviously, Adrian Benelia, I mentioned his 57-yard touchdown run on the third play from scrimmage. He had a nice day for White House Heritage. He had 21 carries for 175 yards and 2 touchdowns. He got his second touchdown late in the fourth quarter during garbage time. And then Xavier Murray, the freshman quarterback, he played well. He's a really tough son of a gun, and he's a really tough cookie that gets after it. So 11 of 19 for Murray, 149 yards and a touchdown. I was walking past the East Robertson sideline late in that game, and they were talking about Murray, and they said he's a tough young man. He knows how to play, and he's going to be a player moving forward. So credit to Murray and his performance on the road. Eric Lopez continues to marvel at the wide receiver position for White House Heritage at 6 catches, 122 yards, and a touchdown. He's definitely going to be a guy that's going to be high on the list for an all-county selection. So there's just some things that White House Heritage needs to improve on. They were no sense the favorite going on the road against a really talented East Robertson team, but they hung in there early on. They just can never get the stop on defense and make East Robertson uncomfortable and put some pressure on those guys. So just some adjustments that they need to make. Obviously, they have a huge matchup coming up this week that we'll get to in our preview segment. But, all their eyes have moved on from this game. They'll watch the film, they'll regroup, and they'll get ready for a Fairview team that, there's going to be a matchup with a lot on the line.
Moving on from the White House Heritage side of that game to the East Robertson side of the game, of course, had just beaten the Patriots 49-21. Our East Robertson High School football segment is brought to you by Thomas Drugs in Cross Plains. Since the early 1900s, Thomas Drugs has served the Robertson community for all of their prescription needs. Stop by and see their friendly staff and grab you a sundae at their ice cream parlor today. It was a career day for freshman quarterback Casey Young. What was the youngster able to accomplish against the Patriots?
Brady, I've seen East Robertson quite a bit over this year. Obviously, they're a really talented team, moved to 8-1 on the year with their win over White House Heritage. I had not seen Casey Young perform to the level that he did on Friday night. That young man was slinging the football over the field, and really the most impressive thing for me about his performance was his ability to push the football down the field. Hitting Caleb McNeil off the play action pass for a touchdown, hitting Cade Brooks on a long touchdown pass, and then his accuracy on a particular touchdown pass, Isaiah Groves in the corner of the end zone before the half. So his stats were marvelous. Just 8 of 12 passing, but 170 yards, 4 touchdown passes. That is a career high for him on his just young career. He's going to be the starter in Cross Plains for quite a while. I'm excited to see, and the coaching staff mentioned after the game, they're excited to see his growth and development. As he's only a freshman, he seems to get better week by week. During the middle of the season, I was really concerned about this Indians group. Obviously, through the first 5 games, they were putting points on the board easily. They were high flying. They were running the football with such success. And during the middle of the season against Smith County on the road at Westmoreland, they really struggled to put points on the board. And then just the last 2 weeks, against Trousdale County before the bye, and then coming after the bye, 35 points versus Trousdale before the bye, 49 points on Friday night versus White House Heritage. Really able to get that offense rolling again. And for those guys I mentioned in the post-game article, this was the game that I was at. It all starts with those seniors up front on the offensive line, left tackle, John Anderson and John Randolph, and Malachi Anderson. Those guys at the tackle positions for East Robertson just do a phenomenal job the last couple of years, paving the way for the stars in Cross Plains. Obviously, last year was Zach Prince and Colin Cook. This year, it's Casey Young and Isaiah Groves, who had another career day for East Robertson. The young man had 17 carries for 286 yards, 3 total touchdowns, as he also caught 1 through the air. So East Robertson finally clicking things off on offense again, finding ways to put points on the board. They're so dynamic, but the difference is when Casey Young can push the football down the field, allow teams to, or force teams rather, to play their safeties back. And then, Isaiah Groves is going to eat their lunch. Caleb McNeil is going to eat their lunch on the ground running the football behind that physical offensive line. You know, there was some concerns a little bit. As I mentioned, they had some guys missing on the defensive side of the football. They showed some leakage early, allowing some big chunk plays to Heritage, but they really cleaned it up in the second half and, tightened things up on Xavier Murray and that group, and were able to get downhill and make some stops. So credit to East Robertson, moving to 8-1 on the year. They'll finish the year out against Jackson County in region play. We'll preview that matchup in a few segments, but credit to East Robertson. They looked really good on Friday night. I have more confidence that they can make a deep playoff run.
We're going to take our first commercial break of the show. When we come back, we'll be talking about Joe Burns and White House.
At Old Hickory Credit Union, we're member-owned, not-for-profit, and eager to serve our Robertson County community. Since 1934, we have strived to provide our members with a safe, reliable place to take care of all their financial needs. From checking accounts to loans to mortgages, we're here to help. Credit unions have to constantly adapt to meet the needs of an ever-changing market. However, one constant will always remain, and that is the service we provide to our members. Stop by our Greenbrier branch today.
If you're in need of new flooring, look no further than Springfield Carpet One, Floor and Home. We have a showroom filled with a wide range of flooring options, including hardwood, luxury vinyl, carpet, laminate, and tile. Our expert team is here to provide advice and guidance to help you find the right flooring for your needs. With special financing available, you can buy now and pay over time. Stop by our showroom today or visit our website at carpet1springfield.com.
Thomas Drugs, serving our community since the early 1900s. We're a full-service drugstore and soda fountain located in a building on Main Street that is on the National Register of Historic Places. We have a staff of pharmacists with over 70 years of experience, and we are committed to offering the best care and service to our community. We're now offering healthcare testing and treatment with positive results, a one-stop shop. Stop by our pharmacy today or visit our website at thomasdrugs.net.
He shoots, and he scores!
Welcome back to the Robertson County Football Wrap-Up Show. My name is Brady McAtamney, sports editor at Main Street, Clarksville. That's David Wilson. He is the sports reporter at the Robertson County Connection, bringing you all things Robertson County football. And we're going to go to Joe Burns. The Red Devils unfortunately fell to Houston County 15-14 on Friday night. Our Joe Burns High School football segment is brought to you by Select Physical Therapy in Springfield. Select Physical Therapy provides inpatient and outpatient rehabilitation services in Robertson County. Give them a call today at 615-384-3836. This was a drama-filled game between the Red Devils and Fighting Irish. What went down in this one?
Yeah, it came down to one of the final snaps in the game. Greenbrier is up by a point. Houston County attempting the PAT to tie things up late in this game. The kicker misses. But unfortunately for Joe Burns, a late flag comes in. Roughing the kicker takes it half the distance to the goal line. Houston County goes for two, and they're able to get it to squeak out a 1-point win at home over Joe Burns. Just a really tough loss for this Red Devils group that were looking to pick up just their second win of the year and their first win since week 2. So Justin Robinson, he's told me time and time again that this group has stayed bought in. They're buying into the culture of what Robinson's trying to build in just his first year up in Cedar Hill. And this was a game that was tight and was very winnable. Looking at the schedule for Joe Burns. So I know they're going to get back to work this week as they plan to face Red Bowling Springs on Thursday night. And it's going to be a rivalry game. Those two teams do not like each other. As I mentioned in my weekly Pick'em column, we'll preview that matchup here in a little bit. But just going back to this game, there was a switch at the quarterback position for Joe Burns. You know, Amari Cotton had struggled in the previous weeks with turning over the football. I was there for the Harpeth game where he threw 3 second-half interceptions that really kind of dug them a hole in that one. That game was closer than the 28-0 final on the scoreboard. Joe Burns was in that football game, and just turnovers were really costly for them. So they made the switch. Luke Miller got the start at the quarterback position. They moved Amari Cotton to actually the running back spot. And Cotton accounted for the 2 touchdowns on the night for Joe Burns. He caught one on a screen pass from Luke Miller, and then he also ran one in. So Amari Cotton's really got that he's probably the best athlete on their team. He's really athletic. At the quarterback position, he was a dual threat. He could use his legs, he could use his arm. Lefty quarterback, and he was really dynamic in the open field. I don't want to high praise. Lamar Jackson's one of the best in the NFL. He had that type of ability to make defenders miss in the open field. So good to see that they found a role for him, still getting him his hands on the football. Luke Miller, more than your traditional quarterback in a sense, but just a really tough loss for this group. Obviously now 1-8 on the year, try to find positives, and, the defense was able to make some plays in this one. Houston County, the previous 2 years, they hadn't won a football game. Well, now after the win over Joe Burns, they've won 4 football games. So great turnaround for that group. It's anytime you go on the road, it's tough. So I'll give credit to Joe Burns for hanging in this one and making a game and really have the opportunity to win one late. Just circumstances and a call, a penalty goes against you, and that was the difference in this game for Joe Burns. So they'll turn the page. They still have a lot to fight for. Playoff positioning in Region 4 Class A. So a lot to look forward to this week for Joe Burns.
We're going to wrap up our wrap-up segments with the White House Blue Devils, really the latest victims of Pearl Cohen's insane season, losing that game to the Firebirds 56-6. Our White House High School football segment is brought to you by Springfield Carpet One in Springfield. Whether you are in need of new hardwood, luxury vinyl, tile, carpet, or laminate, Springfield Carpet One has everything you need for your next flooring project. Stop by their showroom or give them a call at 615-382-7190. White House struggled on the road versus the Firebirds. What do they have to look forward to this week?
Yeah, I just wanted to take a positive perspective for White House. Obviously, Brady, you help with our Main Street Top 25. You know about the body of work that Pearl Cohen has had all year. They picked up 2 wins early on in the year against 2 private school powerhouses, against CPA and NBA, both of those coming on the road. So we know the talent of this Pearl Cohen team, and they were able to put it into full force on Friday night versus White House. White House's lone touchdown came in the second half. Tanner Hayes hooking up with Kenny Holt on a long touchdown pass to get White House on the scoreboard. But, this game, White House knew the challenge, and Ryan Hamilton knew the challenges that Pearl Cohen was going to give them throughout the week. But the main game and the most, one of the most important games of the year for them, the most important game, is this week as they go on the road to face Creekwood. It's going to be a win, and you're in for that 4th and final playoff spot for White House in a really talented region that features Pearl Cohen, Marshall County, and then Station Campus is going to grab that 3rd spot. So this is the battle for the 4th spot. White House looking to clinch that one on the road at Creekwood. So this is the important game for them, regrouping and going on the road. Charlotte, Tennessee is going to be a tough place to play. Those guys are going to be into it and ready to play. They gave Greenbrier fits last week in the first half. I expect this one to be really tight as well. I'll give you a prediction here in our next segment when we do previews. But they need to be all eyes ahead and, take the film from the Pearl Cohen game, shred it up if you need to. I mean, there's obviously some things you can learn schematically, cleaning things up if there was some missed assignments on the offensive and defensive side. But all their focus needs to be ahead on this Creekwood matchup that really is going to define their season. White House is a talented football team. Obviously, Pearl Cohen is some of the best of the best here in the mid-state. Their schedule was backloaded. They played some of their easier opponents on the front end of their schedule, and they've really challenged themselves over the last couple of weeks. Obviously, against Pearl Cohen the week prior, playing Upperman, a really talented team. Both of those teams are undefeated. So Pearl Cohen, Upperman, the 2 latest teams on White House's schedule, undefeated. So they've really challenged themselves, and they put them in a position this week for a win in your end against Creekwood.
We're going to take our second break. When we come back, David is going to preview all the Week 11 matchups here on the Robertson County Wrap-Up Show.
Whether you've set personal goals or are just making your health and well-being a priority, Select Physical Therapy is here for you. Select Physical Therapy is your trusted physical therapy partner for recovering from aches and pains, gaining strength, and preventing injury. There's no better time to make Select Physical Therapy's movement experts part of your healthcare team. To learn more about the benefits of physical therapy and get on the road to recovery and wellness, schedule an appointment today at selectphysicaltherapy.com. Experience the power of physical therapy today.
If you're in the market for new equipment, come to Countryside Outdoor Power Equipment in Springfield. We are your one-stop shop for all of your outdoor projects and needs. We have a large selection of Echo Power equipment and a full line of bad boy mowers and tractors. We also have a broad inventory of outdoor storage buildings and provide maintenance and small engine repair on most equipment. We also carry a large line of mower engines and parts. For great financing options, stop by Countryside Outdoor Power Equipment today. If you're in need of new flooring, look no further than Springfield Carpet One, Floor and Home. We have a showroom filled with a wide range of flooring options, including hardwood, luxury vinyl, carpet, laminate, and tile. Our expert team is here to provide advice and guidance to help you find the right flooring for your needs. With special financing available, you can buy now and pay over time. Stop by our showroom today or visit our website at carpet1springfield.com.
At Old Hickory Credit Union, we're member-owned, not-for-profit, and eager to serve our Robertson County community. Since 1934, we have strived to provide our members with a safe, reliable place to take care of all their financial needs. From checking accounts to loans to mortgages, we're here to help. Credit unions have to constantly adapt to meet the needs of an ever-changing market. However, one constant will always remain, and that is the service we provide to our members. Stop by our Greenbrier branch today. Thomas Drugs, serving our community since the early 1900s. We're a full-service drugstore and soda fountain located in a building on Main Street that is on the National Register of Historic Places. We have a staff of pharmacists with over 70 years of experience, and we are committed to offering the best care and service to our community. We're now offering healthcare testing and treatment with positive results, a one-stop shop. Stop by our pharmacy today or visit our website at thomasdrugs.net.
Welcome back to the Robertson County Football Wrap-Up Show. I am Main Street Clarksville sports editor Brady McAtamney. That's David Wilson. He is the Robertson County Connection sports reporter. David, we got 6 matchups coming up this week, 3 on Thursday, 3 on Friday. Let us know what you think of these matchups.
Yeah, they're evenly split, 3 on Thursday and 3 on Friday, as you mentioned. I want to throw this out there before we go into my predictions for this week and breaking down each matchup. Blaine Keller was phenomenal last year in his weekly pick. I'm 52-12 when picking the Robertson County games. And I'm creeping up on Blaine this year, 43-7 as we head into the final week and then as we have the playoff slate. So I know Blaine, I've been texting him constantly throughout the weeks, letting him know of my record. So I'm excited about that. Hopefully I can carry the momentum into this last week of the year. Hopefully I just didn't jinx myself. I'll knock on wood. But yes, you mentioned 6 matchups this week, 2 of them with major playoff implications. So we'll dive into those, and I'll highlight those as well. Obviously, the first one with main playoff implications is going to be on Thursday night. I'll be making out the trip to Fairview as well. I'm excited about this matchup between White House Heritage and Fairview, the region championship in Region 6 3A on the line as the Yellow Jackets and the Patriots get together for this one. Obviously, I'm excited about it. You know, White House Heritage, I don't know if I've been speaking it into existence, but they've really had some challenges on the road this year, and this is a road game at Fairview. The Patriots are 1-3 away from the comforts of White House, and Fairview is undefeated on the year at home. This is going to be a battle between 2 young quarterbacks. Jax McCoy for Fairview, he's a sophomore, and then obviously freshman quarterback for White House Heritage, Xavier Murray. Excited about this matchup. My prediction for this one, I haven't been doing this weekly, but I'll do it this week. I think Fairview is going to find a way to squeak this one out. And I know that's really tough for me. I love White House Heritage. I love the culture that they're building there. Obviously, Joel Goff, the athletic director, I know him personally. He's a great guy. And then Scott Murray's done a phenomenal job in his first year. But I think Fairview finds a way to win this one. I think I had it at 34-27. So I'm expecting a little bit of a higher scoring game. Just from what I saw from the White House Heritage defense last week, didn't really give me a lot of optimism in them trying to hold Fairview to low scoring. So I'll give the Yellow Jackets a 7-point win at home and to clinch a region championship. And that'll still be a phenomenal year for White House Heritage. They've already clinched an opportunity to host a playoff game in the playoffs next week. So I know we're looking forward to that one here in the Robertson County area. Another Thursday matchup, Springfield at home, welcoming in the Beach Bucks. I just think that Beach has too much firepower in this one. Obviously, you have a sophomore quarterback in Caden Powell. I don't think Springfield has enough firepower on the offensive end to hang with the Bucks. So I think Beach finds a way to win that one on senior night at the Nest. Another Thursday matchup, Joe Burns at home versus Red Bowling Springs. Obviously, this is a matchup that has playoff implications as well, not major ones. If Joe Burns can find a way to win this game, they'll jump up to the 3 seed in Region 4 Class A, and Red Bowling Springs would drop down to number 4. I had gone back through some research. I really had a hard time picking this game, Brady. And I looked back in the research, and I think I'm correct in this. Red Bowling Springs has not picked up a win over Joe Burns since their annual meetings all the way back in 2014. I have a feeling that Joe Burns, despite the year that they've had, 1-8 on the year, I just feel like they find a way this week. And I know I might be crazy. Find a way in this one, pick up a 16-14 win over the Bulldogs to win their second game of the year and pick up the 3 seed in Region 4 Class A. I'm going to roll with the Red Devils this week. I just got a gut feeling that they find a way to win that one in a low-scoring physical battle in Cedar Hill on Thursday night. And then our 3 Friday matchups, we'll start off with Greenbrier going on the road to a team that you're very familiar with, Brady, Montgomery Central. Obviously, the Indians have had a really rough year. 0-9 on the season. I just think Greenbrier finds a way to win this one yet again. They've been playing some of their best football over the last few weeks. Carson, Flood, Wilbur, that group, Castleman on the outside. I expect Greenbrier to find a way to win this one and pick up their 4th win on the year, their 3rd region win of the year. Finish the year really strong under John Elmore, despite missing the playoffs. That's something that they had wanted to do coming into the year after last year's playoff berth. East Robertson is going to be at home on senior night in Cross Plains. They welcome in Jackson County for their final region matchup of the year in Region 3 2A. I just think East Robertson has way too much firepower in this one against Jackson County. Groves, McNeil, Young, Randolph, Anderson, the whole entire offense. I'm going to shout all of them out. I just think they have too much going on, too much mojo. And Cross Plains, they've been talking about stacking wins and building some momentum into the playoffs. I think they found a way to do that in this one. I think I had this one as a final of 42-6. And then finally, our last game in the Robertson County area this week with major playoff implications. It's White House, as I mentioned, going on the road to Creekwood. I see this one muddy, physical, early, low scoring. I think Creekwood's going to give White House all they can handle early on in this one, but I think White House finds a way on the road to pick up a win. I think I have this one as 24-10. The Blue Devils picking up the win and clinching a playoff spot in their first year back in Class 4A in that tough region that features Marshall County, Pearl Cone, and Station Camp. So that will be the slate of games in the Robertson County area this week, Brady.
All right, we're going to take our final break on the Robertson County Sports Football Wrap-Up Show. When we come back, David is going to give you his Game of the Week and Player of the Week.
If you're in need of new flooring, look no further than Springfield Carpet One, Floor and Home. We have a showroom filled with a wide range of flooring options, including hardwood, luxury vinyl, carpet, laminate, and tile. Our expert team is here to provide advice and guidance to help you find the right flooring for your needs. With special financing available, you can buy now and pay over time. Stop by our showroom today or visit our website at carpet1springfield.com.
He shoots and he scores!
Whether you've set personal goals or are just making your health and well-being a priority, Select Physical Therapy is here for you. Select Physical Therapy is your trusted physical therapy partner for recovering from aches and pains, gaining strength, and preventing injury. There's no better time to make Select Physical Therapy's movement experts part of your healthcare team. To learn more about the benefits of physical therapy and get on the road to recovery and wellness, schedule an appointment today at selectphysicaltherapy.com. Experience the power of physical therapy today.
If you're in the market for new equipment, come to Countryside Outdoor Power Equipment in Springfield. We are your one-stop shop for all of your outdoor projects and needs. We have a large selection of eco-powered equipment and a full line of bad boy mowers and tractors. We also have a broad inventory of outdoor storage buildings and provide maintenance and small engine repair on most equipment. We also carry a large line of mower engines and parts. For great financing options, stop by Countryside Outdoor Power Equipment today.
Welcome back to the Robertson County Football Wrap-Up Show. As always, I'm Brady McTamney, sports editor at Main Street, Clarksville. That's David Wilson, the sports reporter for the Robertson County Connection. And he's got our Game of the Week and Player of the Week ready to give to you. David, let's hear it.
Yeah, let's do player of the week for week 10. I have 3 I'm going to give. 1 is going to be the main, and then the 2 is going to be honorable mentions in Robertson County. So my honorable mentions, the first one is going to go to Adrian Bonilla. Despite the loss on the road at East Robertson, the young man had 21 carries for 175 yards and 2 touchdowns against a really talented East Robertson defense. So I'm going to give Bonilla one of the honorable mentions for player of the week. My second one is going to go to Casey Young, who had a career day for East Robertson at the quarterback position, the young freshman signal caller. 8 of 12 passing, 170 yards and 4 touchdowns, a career high in his short career at East Robertson. So I'll give him the second honorable mention. Then the player of the week, we mentioned him time and time again in the Robertson County area this year. He gets a lot of praise, and it's richly deserved. He's going to be in the running for Mr. Football Award here in a few weeks. Isaiah Groves for East Robertson. He'll be our player of the week award for week 10 in Robertson County. 17 carries, 286 yards, 2 touchdowns on the ground. He also had a reception through the air for a touchdown as well. So 3 total touchdowns, over 300 total yards rather for Grove. So he will be our player of the week award for week 10. Congrats to Isaiah. Phenomenal season. Hope to see him as a winner of a Mr. Football Award here in a few weeks. And then my game of the week for week 11. I'm going to give it co-game of the week. Obviously, as I mentioned, I'll be there. White House Heritage going on the road at Fairview, battle for a region championship. White House Heritage was 1-9 last season. They have the opportunity to pick up their 6th win this year under a first-year coach at Heritage, in Scott Murray, and win a region championship. That's pretty remarkable. And then lastly, on Friday, game of the day or game of the week for that, White House going on the road at Creekwood looking to punch their ticket into the Class 4A playoffs. But that will do it for this week on our Robertson County football show. For Brady McIntyre, I'm David Wilson. Excited for the playoffs next week. We'll see you guys this week at the fields.
You've been watching the Robertson County High School Football Show with Robertson County Connection sports reporter David Wilson and Main Street Clarksville sports editor Brady McIntyre. Read this week's Robertson County Connection for all the latest news about Robertson County High School sports. The Robertson County High School Football Show has been brought to you by Springfield Carpet One, Thomas Drugs, Old Hickory Credit Union, Countryside Outdoor Power Equipment, Select Physical Therapy in Springfield, and the Tennessee Highway Safety Office. Join us each week at this time on Main Street Media TV to get the latest on Robertson County football.